Morning, Abotai. Yesterday we started speaking about the concept of onat dvarim, which is verbal oppression. Now, besides for the very obvious manifestation of this, which is to insult a person, hurt a person verbally, the Gemara in Masechet Baba Metziah Daf Nun Chet quotes several examples of what it means to hurt a person verbally that a person may not have thought otherwise. Maran Shulchan Aruch quotes it in Choshen Mishpat. Now, as follows. One example is, the Gemara says, if a person goes into a store and asks for a product and he has no intention of buying it, you're just, making the seller crazy. How much is this, and how much is that, and how much is this? And if your kavanah is not to buy it all, so over there that's onat dvarim, because you're leading the person on to thinking that maybe you're going to buy something, you're getting his hopes up when that's not true. That is a transgression of onat dvarim. Similarly, even if you're in the market, you want to purchase an item or a service or whatever it is, and however, you want to shop around, and you ask a person all sorts of very detailed questions about the product or about the service, and you have no intention of getting it from that specific person. You just want to use it to be able to compare and contrast, get ideas, whatever it is. Over there, that's also onat dvarim. Unless you say, listen, I don't think I'm going to use you. I just want ideas. I'm just shopping around. And then the person talks to you, that's fine. But you cannot lead him on to thinking they are going to use. Now again, it doesn't necessarily mean that every person you go to or every item that you see you must buy. But there has to be a legitimate thought in your mind that if it's a good price and it's a good product, they have to want to buy it. However, if you don't want to, that is onat dvarim. Now, another example the Gemara gives is going over to a Ba'al Teshuvah, a person who in previous years may have acted inappropriately. He was since Choser B'Teshuvah, he repented fully, and you go over to him and he says, you remember in your previous life, I used to do this and act like that and whatever it is, that is onat dvarim. You're causing him pain. He doesn't want to remember that. Same thing with a gir. Oh, you're a gir. You know what your forefathers did. That's also a terrible transgression of onat dvarim. The Gemara brings one more example of the friends of Iyov. In Sefer Iyov, we find that Iyov was stricken with all sorts of calamities, all sorts of tragedies, and his friends came to cheer him up. But throughout the conversation, they gave him very, very harsh rebuke. They told him, what do you think? HaKadosh Baruch Hu punishes for no reason? You also sinned, you did this. The Gemara says that although the friends of Iyov were correct, they in terms of musar, they were correct, but it's inappropriate when a person's down to kick him while he's down and say, oh, you see, you deserved it because of this or that. That is another manifestation of onat dvarim. There's a time and place for everything. When it passes, you can give a person musar, but when he's down to telling you deserve it because of this, that is another transgression of onat dvarim. Be'ezrat Hashem will continue tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.